Hello traders, welcome back to the channel where trading is made easy with high level of clarity. As you know, on Sundays, we give top the analysis and give you bias on what to expect in the market. And before we proceed to that, I would like to say congratulations to some of us that utilized this opportunity that we gave on Sunday last week. Remember, I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting some liquidity to be taken internally for the market to come to this order block. Because when you look at this chart, you will discover that we have fair value gap here. And whenever you see fair value gap with order block, always expect that fair value gap to be filled. Market just filled this order block, took out all the internal liquidity that we saw at this particular place. Remember, all this internal liquidity that we saw at this particular place came to this 4 hour order block before the movement to the downside. We covered all this. I suggest you go through my previous video. You will learn a lot and know what market structure is all about if this is your first time of seeing this channel. And also, I want to say congratulations to the people that utilized the opportunity that we shared on gold. Remember on gold, last week, I explained all the reasons why we should also be expecting all this fair value gap here to be filled, because here we saw this fair value gap and I covered all the reasons why we should be expecting this fair value gap to be filled for the market to come to this 4 hour order block before we start seeing more continuation to the downside. And I explained all the reasons why we should go and, refine a little, because on gold, this 4 hour order block is very, very huge for you to open trade aggressively, which we went to. I think that should be 30 minutes. Let's see. Yes, on 30 minutes. As you can see, we saw that order block on 15 minutes. As you can see, this. Are you seeing? But in normal way of trading, whenever you see a high that swept liquidity, that's where your stop loss has to be, or that's where your order has to be. Because when you go to 15 minutes or lower, you will understand that this high swept this internal liquidity. That's why our stop loss, let's go to 5 minutes for you to see better. That's why our stop loss came just at that particular place. So I suggest you go through my previous video, because through it you will learn much, a lot. But today, what do we have, and what are we going to be looking at? So I want us to stay to the video, to the end of the video, because at the end of the video, you will learn a lot. And also, before we proceed, I would like to talk about this place. As you can see, if you have been following what we have been teaching you for some months right now, you would have caught this particular trade, right? Because some of the students in my mentorship program, they caught this movement, right? So that's why I say whatever we are teaching you, you have to be utilizing those opportunity. Um, let's look at this. Now, remember, whenever you see something like this, always know that the market is going to come and close it. This abnormal behavior, this gap in the market often comes to close it. So always remember that. And that was exactly what happened before we started seeing all this move to the upside. So today, what do we have? We are going to be starting with USD JPY today. And on USD JPY, we shared this setup, but the market did not come back to fill this order block. The market continued moving to the upside. This is some things that happens in the market. It's normal in the market. Sometimes you miss some opportunities, but the goal is not to chase the market, to eradicate fear of missing out, which is popularly called FOMO in the world of trading. So today, what do we have? We are going to clear everything here and have our analysis. Now, on USD JPY, what do we have? On USD JPY, we know when we start from monthly, we can see how the market is reacting from this strong area of resistance. And whenever market comes to monthly resistance, we expect some heavy reactions before we start seeing some certain trend. Now we are seeing that reaction. The market is setting up to start its downtrend or uptrend, depending what the market is going to give to us, which we are going to understand in just a few minutes from now. But what are we looking at? Now remember the formation candle, 3 to 4 formation candle, as you can see, USD JPY, whenever it prints the same color of candle for 3 to 4 times, you always see the opposite candle appearing. As you can see, we have these 3, then this appeared 3 again. We saw this 3, this appeared. We saw this 3, this appeared. We saw this 4, this appeared. We saw this 3, this appeared. We saw this 4, this appeared, and currently we have gotten 4 and this appeared. So we are going to be focusing on what is happening here to determine if the market is going to go to the downside or continue moving to the upside. Now, when we look at it, we have a very good order block on monthly, right? And this order block is huge. The market is here to fill it. The market has used this week to fill this fair value gap, but not completely filled on weekly and monthly time frame rather. So what are we expecting? We still expect this order block to be filled, for the market to be properly balanced, and this all fair value gap to be filled, because whenever you see a fair value gap in a market, definitely is going to be filled. If this is your first time being in the market, always know that for the market to continue moving to the upside, when a low break a structure without taking liquidity, market always come for it before continuation to the upside. So that's what we're expecting to see at this particular place. And to complete this pattern we are seeing, as you can see, this was a previous resistance that is turning to support. So we're expecting the price to come and test this zone once again before continuation to the upside. So I want us to have all those in mind and drop down towards weekly. Now, when we come to weekly, we can see how USDJPY has been trying everything to cover these gaps, and that is exactly what is happening. But I want you to understand something, how this market was creating lower lows and lower highs, and now changed the trends from creating higher highs and higher lows. Then when you look at it right now, you will discover that this market has been creating higher highs and higher lows since 21st April 2025, but right now we are seeing our first lower low. That is what you call break of structure. And as you can see, let's just adjust a little. As you can see, this market right now has been creating higher highs and higher low. This is the first lower low that we have seen. But the challenge we are having right now is after that lower low that created this break of structure, the market did not close below it. But let's still have that in mind and drop to daily time frame. But before moving to daily time frame, we can see this fair value gap that is left to be covered at this particular place. And as we all know, this is a bearish candlestick, as you can see. This is a bearish candlestick. So right now, I also recommend you go through my previous video, because all this move to the downside, I covered all of them. So what are we expecting at this particular place? What kind of price action are we seeing at this particular place? So when we move down to daily, then everything is properly defined. As you can see, this clearly gave us that break of structure to the downside and closing below it. So having seen all this right now, what are we expecting? Now let's start our analysis deeply right now. Now, when we go to this, we can see that first of all, we have a very good order block at this particular place. And we had so many fair value gaps from this particular place to this, and market is trying everything possible to close it. Remember what I told you, whenever you see a gap like this in the market, always know that market is coming to close it, which I covered in my previous video, explaining all the reasons why we should be expecting market to cover it, but the market did not come to our point of interest for us to start taking the market to the upside, but the market continued moving to the upside. So right now, what are we expecting? We're expecting the market right now to give us a reaction at the order block. Now remember, whenever you see order block with a very good fair value gap, always know that that order block is going to what? Be filled and react. It makes order block very strong and powerful. Now, when we move over to 4 hours, let's look at the kind of price action we have at this particular place. Now, when we look at what we have, the market was creating series of higher highs and higher lows. And remember what I just said a few minutes ago, that whenever you see a market moving to the upside and we have a low that didn't sweep a liquidity before creating a high, market will always come back to take it out, coming to other block of fair value gap before continuation to the upside. Now, when we look at what's happened, that is exactly what we are seeing. Now, this market was creating higher highs and higher lows. Now, later, the market gave us this particular gap we are seeing at this particular place. Later, market took this as a liquidity, this low as a liquidity, as you can see. Let's zoom a little bit. Took this low as a liquidity, right? And giving us this as a very strong low. Now, if you are new in this channel, I want you to always remember or know this, right? Whenever we see a market moving to the upside, created a low that didn't sweep any liquidity, created a high, market came back to take that low before creating a high, right? This formation right now is a bullish formation, and this is what you call fake break of structure, right? For people that struggles with fake break of structure, this is fake break of structure. This also is also a fake break of structure. Rather, this should be called a sweep of liquidity. So, so many people will take this as fake break of structure and be looking for downtrend without knowing that this is what we call a sweep of liquidity for the market to continue moving to the upside. So after we see this kind of price action, what we don't want to see is markets going below this, because after this sweep of liquidity, this happened to be a very good, valid break of structure. So we expect the market to continue moving to the upside without coming to the downside. Anything that brings this market to the downside, that means this trend has changed. I think on my free Telegram channel, I dropped a video this morning concerning change of character, how to identify it so early. You can go to that place and check it out. Now, um, since we have seen this, right, whenever the market goes below this now is what is going to give us that change of character to the downside. So this is exactly what we never wanted to see here, because this low swept liquidity. So let's clear all this and move back to our analysis. So right now, what are we expecting? The market right now, we don't want to see it go through this, but what happened? The market later went below this, and not only going below it, it closed below it. We have a candle closed there. This is what gave us that change of trend. Now, since we have seen this, remember, after sweeping this low, this market went and broke what? A structure, came back and even gave us break of external structure. You seen it? Now, when we had all this, we didn't want to see the market go above it, because this is a very valid break of structure. This is also a very good valid break of structure. So after that, we didn't want to see the market go, and market has gone against it, below it. What do you expect? We expect the market to continue moving to the downside. Let's identify it. So currently, right now, remember, if you are new in this channel, I want you to also know this, because I'm putting some of our principle very, very clearly. Now, whenever we have a low or a high before break, change of character or break of structure, market always come to take it before continuation to the downside. And when you look at it, this is what just happened. In my last analysis, I explained the reasons, all the reasons why we should be expecting market to take this as what? A liquidity to come to this other block before we start seeing move to the downside. And that is exactly what the market has done, because this happened to be the last high that market created before this change of character at this particular place, and the market has taken it out right now to the upside. So right now, as we can see, we have a very good order block here on daily, and this is my point of interest. Now, for you to have a very good point of interest based on our strategy, that place you're having point of interest must be a high or low that swept a liquidity. Now, when we look at this right now, we can see how this high, this particular point of interest that we are seeing right now, swept a liquidity. Now, when we move over to 1 hour, let's look at what's happened at that particular place. You can see also how we had that change of trend at this particular place. As you can see, we had that change of trend. Market came up to take out all these internal liquidities. This one happened to be the first one, right? We have another second one here. We have another third one here. Market took out all this liquidity. Market took all this liquidity coming to this other block, as you can see, before continuation to the downside. So this high swept a liquidity. So what are we expecting? This happened to be our strong high. We can only start looking for bullish price action whenever the market goes above this high. And I know that the market is not going above this high anytime soon. So which candle swept that liquidity happens to be this particular one, right? So let's go back to our 4 hours. I'm not only giving you points of interests, rather I am also showing you how you can also manage your trades daily, right? Because remember, initially on January, I told you that we have a target to train traders that can challenge the market by themselves. So the market had already entered this zone, and when you look at it, you will discover how the market reacted immediately it entered that particular zone, telling us that this is a very strong zone for sellers. And when we look at it, we have order block here, but I'm not expecting this order block to hold the market that much. Why? Because when we look at this, we have a very good fair value gap above, right? So I'm expecting the market to start selling above this particular what zone, because we have that order block there and also fair value gap. So I'm expecting the market to start selling from that particular zone. So on USD JPY, I'll be looking for that sell setup at this particular place. Remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. I will be waiting for that change of character inside this particular place, and after that, I'll start taking the market to the downside, right? And another thing I want us to understand is this market is not coming correctively, right? It's not coming correctively, because if it was creating higher highs and higher lows correctively to this particular place, then it could have that strength to take this up, this structure out. But the market is just moving this way, and it is creating this particular price action, right? Now, whenever you are seeing a market creating choppy moves this way, right, without a very good correction, the markets will always come to hunt all these stop loss below, because we have enough liquidity resting just below this particular place, right? I want you to always understand that in the market. So the market is likely going to come and take out all these structures created during this move to the upside, because we have stop loss of retail traders resting below these lows. So market makers will always come for lows like that, because that is same price action, similar price action that we have at this particular place. As you can see, we had those kind of lows piling up here. What happened? Market came out to take everything out. When you look at this price action here, you look at this price action, you will see that they are similar. So that's why it is important whenever you are making any trade, always study the behavior of that currency pair. Let me say this again. I'm not giving you only points of interest. I am teaching you and also giving you point of interest so that you can also duplicate this kind of sound and clear educational analysis on your own charts. So on USDJPY, this is what we are expecting. And if the market decides to do otherwise, and we are still going to update you on what to do regarding that. So this is my first point of interest on USD JPY. And look at what I was saying. I was talking about no market moves straight like this and no market moves like this, right? Definitely, if it was coming correctively, we can expect it to pull out um the uh the structure. So on USDJPY, this is what I'm expecting, and after that, I could be expecting this. Remember, on higher time frame, we still have I think let's go to monthly again. We still have this to be covered, and when we go to daily, we can see that gap clear there, and we're expecting this gap to be covered because this is abnormal behavior in the market that it always attracts the price of the market. So we could be seeing this market to trade all the way to this downside of the chart. So I have another good setup on GBPUSD. Before we proceed, I would like you to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, share, comment, because your comment, share, and like, and also subscription motivates us to create more quality free educational content like this. Turn on the notification bell and subscribe so that you don't miss any update from us. Without wasting time, let's proceed. Now, but before we come to that, remember we cover so many pairs for you. We have gold and we have DSY and we have NAS100 and US30 today to cover for you. But before we come to pound USD, I want us to look at our DSY. Remember, DSY simply means dollar index, and this is what shows us when dollar is strong and when dollar is week. So when we look at this right now, we can see that, let's go to daily. We can see that DSY right now is still trading to the upside, and we already have that break of structure on DSY, which I explained. I'm expecting this market to come to this weekly order block, right? As you can see, to take out all these internal structures created before this breakout structure. So I'm still expecting the market to come to this particular zone. That's when I'm expecting dollar to be weak. Remember, DSY just simply means dollar index, right? This is where we see the strength of dollar. So right now the market is trying as much as possible to close this weekly fair value gap, right? Which the market is likely to close before we started seeing downtrend, but the market is currently reacting at support that is likely going to turn to resistance. So whatever we are doing on any dollar pair, we should always look out for our DSY to see what is happening. As you can see, DSY has been, buying for some time, and when you look at USD JPY, that's why USD is buying against this. Then when you look at GBP USD, that's why it has been selling. So whenever dollar is DSY is buying, right, it makes dollar to be strong against other currency pairs. So always have that in mind. Let's proceed with our GBP USD. On GBP USD right now, everything seems quite interesting and also tricky at the same time. So let's clear everything we have on our charts and go to monthly time frame. Now, on monthly time frame, remember at the beginning of February, I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting the market to come and cover this gap, I recommend you go through my previous video because you will learn a lot from it. Now, the market has closed it right now. Now started rejecting to the upside because GBP USD don't like leaving fair value gaps behind, right? And that is exactly what the market has done. It has filled this fair value gap and now rejecting to the upside. Now, and as you can see, the market is still creating series of higher highs and higher lows. Market just came back to test this strong area of resistance that it has now turned to support. And when you look at from here, you will discover that that zone has been acting as resistance. Now that it has been broken, it has now turned to support before all this price action we are seeing at the upside. Now that this fair value gap has been covered, what do you expect? You expect more bullish price action. Now let's drop down to weekly. Now on weekly, remember, last week I explained all the reasons why we should be expecting this fair value gap here to be clear, closed, and that is exactly what the market has done, at least to give us previous resistance turn to support. And that's exactly what the market has done. So what are we expecting? We're expecting more bullish price action to the upside. So since we have seen all this, what are we expecting? Now, one thing that psychologically that I have discovered in candlestick chart pattern traders and other behavior, whenever we have bearish candle like this, when the next week opens, market will always often come to cover this week before continuation to the upside, either going below the week, then continuation, or it will cover at least half of the week before continuation to the upside. So we should be expecting that to happen. So having all this in mind, now let's proceed to daily time frame. As you can see, we still have a little gap for that candle to be properly closed. So when we get to daily time frame, we can see that on daily time frame, we still have a fair value gap that needs to be covered. The market has already covered all these fair value gap that I spoke about last week. The market has covered everything, leaving only this fair value gap that we are seeing at this particular place behind, right? So the market is likely going to come to cover it, but we are still going to see what the market is gonna do. So having all this in mind, now let's look at what we have here. Now remember, this is our weekly order block candle. Then inside it, we can refine better to this daily order block, right? Remember, this is our very strong, very strong low. Now, this very strong low that we are seeing, remember, why is it very strong low? Because it swept this internal liquidity, right? Before this break of structure at this particular place. Now, and this low, right, triggered all this external break of structure. The market could decide to take it as a liquidity before continuation to the upside, but the kind of price action we are seeing is showing that the market is likely going to continue moving to the upside. But without considering all those things, let's proceed. Now, when we come to this, we'll also discover that the market has already tested the previous resistance turn to support, which is likely going to continue to push the market to the upside. I want us to all know all these things and learn how to be very much dynamic in the market. So first of all, on GBP USD, this is my first point of interest because I am expecting the market to come and close that gap here before more continuation to the upside. So if the market is willing to come to the downside Monday, Tuesday or so, coming to this order block, I am expecting buy position to the upside to take out this high, right, that we are seeing at this particular place. But remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. We follow the market how it behaves. So having all this, let's move down to 4 hours. Now on 4 hours, as you can see, we discover that the market is reacting from this 4 hours order block. Remember, I spoke about this order block this liquidity that the market had already taken out. And whenever you have equal lows like this, it always serve as magnets in the market. So whenever you have equal lows or equal highs, always know that that is a liquidity that needs to be taken. So currently, right now, the market is strongly reacting at this particular place. Remember, on USD JPY, we are already seeing a sign of little buy before sell, right? Which we are likely going to see some little, on GBP USD, which we are going to see a sign of little sell before a buy, right? Now remember, this market is currently reacting from this, is coming to this 4 hours order block. Now, this is where you are going to be very, very much dynamic in the market. Now, we know that this market had already tested this area of resistance turn to support. So let's delete this so that our chart will be clean. And we are expecting the market to come to this particular zone before we start seeing much bullish price action. Now remember, the market is still creating series of lower lows, lower high, lower low. We could see lower high, then lower low before this. But remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. So, but from what I'm seeing on DSY, I think that the market might not be able to be coming to this particular place. Now, when we look at these particular markets, we discover that this high did not sweep any liquidity, right? This order block we are seeing did not sweep any liquidity. The only place we are seeing sweep of liquidity happens to be inside this particular place, and we have a very good order block here. So in this situation, I'll be expecting the market to take out this order block before we start seeing any buy, any other sell opportunity, right? I'm not expecting the market to sell from here, but if you see a very good sell opportunity, you can actually take the trade to the downside, right? And when we look at it, we can see that we have some fair value gaps at this particular place, one, and we have another fair value gap at this particular place. So I'm going to be looking for some opportunities that can support to take the market to this particular zone or this zone before we start seeing a sell opportunity, because I am strongly expecting some sell setups at this particular place. So in this situation, you are going to be very, very much dynamic with a very good confirmation. Now let's go to let's identify. Okay, we already identified this. I'm going to take this as a liquidity. I'm not sure that the market is going to sell from this particular. This high has to be taken out. So let's go to 1 hour. So as you can see, that's just a zone, a breaker block on and so on that people do call it, right? So okay, let's see something, guys. Okay, this is a liquidity that has been taken. This is also a liquidity. Did it sweep any liquidity? Yes. Okay, let's see 15 minutes. Okay, that high swept liquidity. Wow. Okay, let's see. This happens to be the order block. Okay, that's where the market is reacting from right now, as we all can see. Okay, we are going to be much dynamic because I'm expecting all these lows to be clear, because whenever I see this kind of price action, I always expect market to take them out before more continuation to the upside. So how are we going to be approaching this? Let's go back to the 4 hours, right? Okay, I'm going to wait very, very well for that change of character inside this particular place. That's where my first entry is going to come this week, right? Just wait for a very strong change of character inside this particular place. Then if you do not see it, then you wait for the market when it comes to this particular place. Then you can take that sell opportunity to the downside, right? So remember, let it always come above your high. That swept liquidity. Wait for a very good change of trend so that you have a very good risk reward trade. Don't sometimes it's not good to enter so aggressively. And I know that some people will be asking, why did I put the stop loss just above this? Now, remember, whenever you have order block and you have wick, you treat all of them as one. So that's why I'm doing that. So this should be my first trade on GBP USD. And if the trade refuse to come to this upside and come to this particular place, definitely I'll be looking for that buy setup at this particular place. And okay, I'm not going to be giving out this. Despite we have that internal sweep of liquidity, the market is likely going to use this as a internal sweep of liquidity to come to this particular zone. So for me, unless you see a very good point of interest and change of character, you can be taking it. But for me, I'll be looking for that trade inside this particular fair value gap and order block. But for me to have a very good risk reward, I will be looking for it when it comes to this particular place. But if I see a very good change of trend inside this place, I'm going to be taking it. So on GBP USD, this is what I am expecting, depending what the market is going to do. So that's it. Then on EURUSD, let's look at our monthly charts. On monthly, I also talked about this. This market reacted from this very strong monthly order block. That's where the market reacted from. And when we have something like this, we expect this week to be covered before we start seeing any sell to the downside, if we are going to see any sell to the downside. So when we come to weekly, we can see how the market is struggling very much to come and close this weekly order block. We are seen to, fill the gap because we have very good fair value gap here, right? So we're expecting the market to still come down to this particular place. Then let me quickly say this. If you are trading GBP USD and Euro USD at the same time, you are making a hell of mistakes, right? Because they have similar price action, and I'm not expecting you to be trading both of them at the same time. So since I've covered GBP USD for you, I suggest that you are very careful with Euro USD, because I am also expecting sell. I spoke about this order block. The market did not come to mitigate it before all this ranging. As you can see, Euro USD has not been trending, rather ranging, unlike GBP USD. And I have also a very good point of interest here, and we have a very good liquidity resting above it. So on Euro USD, you could also look for that opportunity, because this high has broken structure to the downside, as you can see. Let's go to 1 hour. Let's see if we had that candle close. Okay, no candle close. That's very good, which means we should be expecting, let me check something. No candle close. That means we should be expecting this high to also be taken out, right? Since we do not see any candle close, this high is definitely going to be taken out. So I will be looking for sell opportunity here or here to support it to the downside. But if you are trading GBP USD, there's no need to be trading Euro USD. And if you open any order on Euro USD, there's no need to be opening another order on GBP USD. So gradually look for that entry here, right? Wait for change of trend at this particular place, because remember, we still have place that needs to be covered down here on monthly. So the market could decide to still come down to cover some what's it called again, some gaps here. But if the market close above this and start giving more higher and higher low, you can look for more opportunity to the upside from here to this particular place. At least it will give you about 50 to 60 watts pips. Okay, this is 100 pips. So, but you have to be dynamic and be careful in the markets. Look for that sell opportunity here. If you do not see it, you look for another sell opportunity inside this zone. And if the market continue moving to the upside without giving you any good setup, you still leave it and allow the market to set up before you start trading today downside or continue taking the market today upside. So on okay, gold. Let's talk about NAS100 before we talk about gold. Now on NAS100, okay, yeah, first of all, I just want to also say congratulations to some of you that utilized this opportunity that we shared on Sunday also on NAS100. And today, what do we have again? Let's clear everything to see what we have on NAS100. Let's go to the daily time frame. Okay, on daily time frame, I'm still expecting some buy pressure on NAS100. Let's look at, okay, let's look at what we have. Okay, this happened to, okay, this market created break of structure. Then later market came for this particular low, right? We are yet to see another break of structure to the upside, right? So the market is still struggling, and currently, okay, this is our trading range. No matter whatever the market is going to do, this is our trading range between here and here. So whatever we are trading is going to be inside this particular place. Now, this is another confluence to what I said earlier. Whenever you see a gap like this, always expect market to come and close it. So let's look at what we have here. Okay. Okay, currently, okay, the price action I'm seeing here is not properly defined. Why? Okay, I'm going to be skipping this for now. Let's go to US 30 or gold. Because from what I'm seeing, this market is in ranging phase, and some of the break of structure and sweep of liquidity that it is showing us here is not properly defined. So I think, okay, let me just quickly show you what I'm talking about. And let's see, did it come in? Okay, it has tapped into this order block. Now, this is why I say that I will be looking for that very much order entry on USDJPY on a high that swept liquidity. When we go to NAS100, we can see that the market only respected much on a low that swept liquidity, as you can see. That low swept liquidity. Anytime you see a low that swept liquidity, it's always very strong. So right now, the market is reacting at that particular place, right? So we could be seeing a new break of structure, but the challenge there now is this low created this break of structure, right? And we later saw a sweep of liquidity of that low, and the same low that created that break of structure, right? That created new break of structure. This is fake break of structure, right? This is valid break of structure. What we don't want to see is market going below this, which is going to give change of character. But currently, I can't call this change of character because the market is in kind of ranging phase. I can't look for change of character and start selling at this particular place. I can't do that. Is a very risky trade. So let's go to 1 hour to see if you are going to see more good price action to support, because the market is going to the upside already. Okay. Okay. Let's see 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. This is a break of structure of a high. This is a break of structure of a high, right? This is a sweep of liquidity. This is a break of structure. And we don't want to see markets going above this high. So likely market has gone above it. So we have a very good change of character to the upside. Okay, this is now our very strong low. Okay, now let's go back to 15 minutes. Okay, so with this low, okay, this is a very strong low because it swept liquidity. Okay, this is sweep of liquidity, but we have open price here. So we could even see the markets, you also using it as a sweep of liquidity to come inside this particular place. So even though the market, okay, let's see, we have a very good point of interest here, right? The market could come here. Okay, let's see 5 minutes, just a minute. Okay, I think this is a good setup. But if the market goes below this, then look for another opportunity inside this particular place, because even here we have a very good order flow here, right? Here also we have a very good order flow. Then here we have a very good order block here. Even at this extreme level, we have a very good order block here. So you have to be dynamic in what is happening here. But my first entry is going to be inside this particular place, because of what? This low swept liquidity, right? And we can't see any, let's see something. I can't see any good order block here aside from what we are seeing at this particular place. So I'll be taking that order here. But if the market goes below, please don't think that the market has changed its trend to the downside, right? Just know that the market is coming back, because remember, we have this as our trading range. We have this as our trading range. Where is it again? We have this as our trading range. So this is a very strong low, and the market has already changed character. So we could be seeing this market come inside this particular place before we start seeing that move to the upside, right? So have that in mind. I will be looking for that 1:3 risk reward, which is here. And when we go to 5 minutes, we can see that we have some good liquidity that needs to be what? Taken, which the market is gradually trying to take, right? This is a very good liquidity zone. So the market is likely going to take it to come to this particular place before we start seeing that move to the upside. So on NAS100, this is what I am expecting to happen before the market continue moving to the upside to come and challenge this high, because this is another high that swept a liquidity. So if you want, you can also target this high if you want, but don't be greedy in the market. 1:3 risk reward is always okay in the market. So this is what I'm expecting on NAS100. So let's quickly go to let's look at US30. Okay, on US30 last week, we did not the market did not trigger our order. I think that should be 1 hour order block. Yes, on 1 hour order block we had, the market refused to come down. Rather, the market came to this particular place on Monday, coming to fill this order block that we were expecting the market to take as liquidity before continuation to the upside. Sometimes it happens in the market, right? But that shouldn't make you to start chasing the price of the market. So we are going to clear everything we have on us on US30 and do a very good analysis to give you bias on what to expect. So right now, since we have this here, what are we expecting? The new break of structure that we have been expecting had already happened. So after a break of structure, what do we expect? We expect a liquidity to be taken. And when we look at here, we can't see any liquidity created. All we can see are fair value gaps. And this is a very strong low because it took out liquidity before that break. So this is a very, very strong low that we are seeing at this particular place. So let's identify it. So right now in this situation, we are going to be working dynamically here. Let's go to 1 hour. We can see these points of interest here. right? But I don't think the market will come to this particular place because the market will first of all come to test a resistance turn to support. So let's go to lower time frame. So I think the market is going to come inside this zone. Let's delete this. In that situation, I'll be looking for opportunity inside this particular fair value gap, right? This is where I'll be looking for that opportunity, but you have to be careful. You have to be dynamic. You know, all these things you are seeing right now are just liquidity that the market is going to take. So let me see something here. This is equal low, and equal low serves as magnet for the price to come. So I'm expecting the market to take out these lows and tap into this order block. Sorry, fair value gap we are seeing, which is also corresponding with resistance turn to support. So I will be looking for that opportunity inside here. Remember, don't be aggressive here. Just wait. And if the market is willing to come inside this particular zone, as you can see, you can also be taking that particular trade. So wait for a very good change of character inside this fair value gap. Then you can be targeting to take the market to external liquidity. So on US 30, this is what I am expecting, right? But know that this is a very strong low. And if the market goes below this, then you should be looking for more sell opportunity to the downside. We are not expecting the market to go through below this low. Anything that takes market below this low is already change of character. So I want you to have that in mind and work with how the market works. Remember, trading is reactive and not predictive. Let's go to gold. Now on gold, the market is already moving to the upside. So let's look at what we have on gold. Just like I say, congratulations to people that utilize this opportunity. Let's go to monthly to see what gold is doing. Okay, I think we have to be looking for more buys to the upside. At the beginning of this month, I spoke about this why gold needed to come and cover this fair value gap, and gold had already covered that. And on weekly, I explained why gold had, I think that was last week, I explained the reasons why we should be expecting gold to fill this order block before continuation to the upside, and gold had already done that. In fact, it happened on Monday, which I was not expecting to happen immediately the market opened, but it did. And currently, right now, gold is reacting to the upside, coming to immediately gold came to this. Let's go to 4 hours to this very strong low, right? Or let's take it on daily. This strong low, order block. Let's just identify it. This is the order block of the strong low, right? Then gold reacted to the upside. That is how powerful other blocks of a low that swept liquidity is, because that low swept this internal liquidity that we are seeing at this particular place. Let's identify it. Then giving us this as a very strong low. And immediately gold came into that other block and other flow that swept that liquidity. Immediately the market tapped in and continued moving to the upside. And now we can see that gold is now creating series of higher highs and higher lows right now. It has created a higher high, right? Now creating a higher low, targeting higher high here. And when we look at it, we can see that we have a very good order block at that particular place with fair value gaps. So don't neglect that. And when we go to 1 hour, we can see, I think that's high. Okay, let's see if that high swept any liquidity first. That's the first thing that I check. Okay, it didn't sweep any liquidity. It's only trended. Okay, that's fine. So let's go back to our 4 hours. Okay, right now, what are we expecting? We're expecting more bullish price action because gold had already taken out some internal liquidities coming to this order block. It's quite unfortunate that on Wednesday, I didn't give any top-down analysis but you don't have anything to worry about. We are organizing something, preparing something bigger than one is the analysis. So stay tuned. So right now the market is reacting from here. Let's see if we have had change of character on lower time frame. Yes, I think from what I'm seeing, we already have a change of character. Now this high swept this liquidity, right? We have change of character now. This high now gave us this breakout structure. What we never wanted to see is market going above this. Then it has given us that change of character. So what are we gonna do? Now let's move to lower time frame to see points of interest. Gold is filling every other blocks, right? It's filling every other blocks. It has filled this one, right? Has filled this one, has filled this one. Only one is left, which happened to be the one we are seeing at this particular place. So let's go to 5 minutes. Only the one we are seeing at this particular place. So gold is likely to come to fill it, right? Because this price action we are seeing is very, very deadly. Okay, I'm seeing something above. So if gold decide to come to fill all these price actions below, let's delete this for our chart to be clean. Let's delete this. Let's delete this. If gold is willing to come and, fill all these price actions, then that's fine. And we'll be looking for that opportunity at this particular place. So let's delete this also. We'll be looking for that opportunity at this particular place. This is where my first point of interest is coming, right? My stop loss just below this low. Then my take profit 1:3 risk reward here, which is good. But I'm seeing something else on gold. Let me just adjust this a little. I'm seeing something else on gold. Now on 5 minutes, I can see that we have a low that swept liquidity, right? And the low swept liquidity where our change of character happened. So I'm likely going to be looking at this fair value gap and other block below, right? Gold is likely going to come inside this fair value gap. So I'm going to be looking for that extreme order. Maybe let me just put it like this. Now, if the market comes inside this particular place, I'll be waiting for that very good change of character to take the market to the upside, right? Then this is my first point of interest, and I will be taking the market to the upside to this external liquidity. So on gold, this is what I'm expecting to happen this week. And if the price continue trading to the upside, I will take the market to this particular other, think it shouldn't be here, to the other block above, right? Because all these highs will be taken out, definitely. I'm going to be taking everything to this upside. So on gold, this is what I'm expecting in this new trading week, right? Let's just on gold, this is what I'm expecting. Then on GBP USD, this is what I am expecting. Let me go to, this is what I am expecting. This, just a minute. Okay, let's go to 4 hours. Okay, this is what I am expecting on GBP USD. Then on USD JPY, this is what I'm also expecting to happen. And if the market continue moving to the upside, you don't have anything to worry about. That's why you have to always wait for change of character, because this is showing sell and GBP USD is also showing sell from here. And this is something that I know very well that doesn't happen. GBP USD and USD JPY doesn't sell at the same time. So always have that in mind. Then on US 30, this is the setup that I am also looking for. And on NAS100, this is what I am expecting to happen. You have to be very, very much dynamic in the market. Remember, if the market goes below this and start going down, you don't need to start selling because we have all these points of interest you can use to take the market to the upside. Let me say this again. If you have not subscribed, subscribe, turn on the notification button. And if you want to take your trading journey to next level this 2026, our mentorship program is ongoing. You can check the description, and you can reach us one-on-one for mentorship so that you can take your trading journey and trading career to next level this 2026. I wish you all profitable week ahead. Have a great day, guys.